The global economy finds itself on the precipice of a crisis, and the recent move by OPEC Plus has sent shockwaves through the already fragile system. The unthinkable has happened, and the consequences are dire. Global demand, already under strain, faces further contraction as exports from economic powerhouses like China and Japan dwindle, contributing to an ominous economic outlook. In a brazen move, OPEC Plus has agreed on deeper output cuts, a decision that threatens to exacerbate the prevailing economic challenges. The world is witnessing a scenario where Saudi Arabia and Russia, wielding significant influence, have opted to twist the knife deeper, igniting renewed inflationary pressures, especially in the Western world. The heart of the matter lies in OPEC Plus collectively agreeing to impose an additional 1 million barrels per day in output cuts. Saudi Arabia, in a bid to seal the deal, has committed to slashing its own production once again. As the production cuts loom, Saudi Arabia's voluntary reduction of 1 million barrels per day is extended. Reports suggest that Russia is set to join the fray, proposing a cut of 500,000 barrels per day to further tighten production. The cumulative effect of these additional cuts, combined with rollovers, is poised to exceed 2 million barrels, pushing the grand total well over 5 million. OPEC Plus, as a collective force, holds enormous bargaining power, accounting for nearly 60% of global oil production in 2022. The primary orchestrators, Russia and Saudi Arabia, both stand to gain from a spike in oil prices. Saudi Arabia, grappling with a significant deficit and a Q3 deficit of $9.5 billion, is in dire need of bolstering its oil revenues, constituting 40% of its GDP. Meanwhile, Russia, eyeing increased revenues, is set to escalate defense spending by almost 70% in 2024, with an overall budget jump of 22%. The backdrop for these moves is the ongoing geopolitical and economic complexities, including the conflict, which has far-reaching implications on global oil dynamics. However, this decision by OPEC Plus is not without its controversies and potential pitfalls. Some members, like Angola, have rejected their diminished quota, asserting their intention to produce above the determined OPEC quota. This resistance stems from the realization that production cuts, while influencing oil prices, may come at the expense of producers, allowing non-OPEC nations like the United States to sell more volume at higher prices, presenting a double win for them. As OPEC Plus maneuvers to maintain control over oil markets and buoy oil prices, the global economy faces a precarious situation. The timing and strategy behind OPEC's move raise questions about the alliance's awareness of the fragile state of the world economy. Global demand, as evidenced by dwindling imports and exports, is already faltering, and OPEC Plus's decision to cut production could exacerbate the economic downturn. Moreover, the move highlights OPEC's concerns about potential additional supply entering the market, particularly from the United States. The U.S. has been steadily increasing crude oil production, reaching a 30% increase within 2 years, thereby challenging OPEC's traditional dominance over oil markets. Additionally, recent developments, such as the lifting of sanctions on Venezuelan oil by the U.S., further contribute to the complexities of the global oil landscape. Venezuela, with its significant oil reserves, becomes a wild card in this scenario. OPEC fears that global oil producers will flock to the country, capitalizing on the lifted sanctions and increasing oil production. While Venezuela is exempt from OPEC production cuts due to its economic struggles, its potential to add millions of barrels to global supply looms large. As the world grapples with these intricacies, the implications for different regions become pronounced. The Eurozone emerges as a potential casualty, as OPEC's decision to cut production could lead to prolonged elevated oil prices. While inflation in the Eurozone has dropped to 2.4%, the region is already contending with an economic slowdown, evident in declining manufacturing and service PMIs. Last year, Europe managed to navigate through a winter energy crisis through a combination of luck and stringent cutbacks in gas usage, especially in industrial production. However, with OPEC Plus deciding to cut production, Europe's energy situation becomes even more challenging. Germany, in particular, faces budget shortfalls, and the OPEC decision complicates matters further, potentially diverting funds from modernizing the German economy. In conclusion, the global economy is treading on shaky ground, with OPEC+'s decision to cut production adding another layer of complexity. The alliance's move, driven by a desire to maintain control over oil prices and counteract potential challenges from non-OPEC nations, underscores the delicate balance between economic stability and the pursuit of strategic interests. As the world watches how events unfold, the consequences of OPEC+'s actions reverberate through different regions, leaving economies on edge and uncertainty prevailing in an already turbulent global landscape. Please don't forget to like and share this video for more.